and thank you for tuning in. You're watching the news at 2:30. I'm Suesha Samant as we begin this edition with the latest coming in as far as the investigation in that failed assassination bid on Donald Trump is concerned. This is a big lead that we're just learning that FBI is all set to investigate Trump assassination bid as an act of domestic terror. Domestic terrorism defines violent criminal acts committed by individuals and or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influences such as those of a political, religious, social, racial or environmental nature. Let me straight away cut across to Kritarth, who joins us live from the newsroom to give us more details on the same. Kritarth, do tell us about this latest development, what it means and how are the Republicans reacting to it?
Good afternoon, Suesha and viewers tuning into Republic TV at this hour. And the biggest update that we are indeed getting is on the Trump assassination bid that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is the lead investigating agency into the Trump assassination bid, has termed it as a domestic act of terror. Now, remember, there was a huge uproar in the entire social media space, including the Republicans, who were very much angry at the massive security failure that happened in Pennsylvania at the Trump rally a couple of days ago. And following which, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, amidst a lot of protest, was given the lead investigator tag. Initially, as we have seen in Western media, there was a lot of hesitation on terming it as an assassination bid. A lot of publications went with shooting instead of an assassination bid. But now the Federal Bureau of Investigation has set the record straight and has stated that it will investigate the case as an attempt to assassination and a domestic act of terror. Now, the important aspect here on the domestic act of terror is the ideological aspect that comes in with respect to the shooter. Now, what we know so far from the Federal Bureau of Investigation is that the ideology of the shooter, Crooks, has not yet been identified. However, the FBI will now have to probe the entire aspect of ideology, as you rightly pointed out earlier, that the domestic terrorism includes violent and criminal acts committed by individuals or groups with an ideology. So that is one aspect that will come in, but more breaking news updates coming in right now as we are live, that there are doubts on the FBI investigating the Trump assassination bid. And the biggest question that has emerged in the investigation so far is that how was the shooter allowed to reach the spot that was so close to the stage of Donald Trump? And we'll play out the visuals and the graphics on your screen momentarily on how the shooter approached a roof just 150 meters away from the stage of Donald Trump, where he was delivering his address in Pennsylvania. And remember, this comes right ahead of the Republican National Convention, and Trump, although now is hale and hearty and is all set to appear for the RNC, the biggest controversy that has erupted in this entire saga so far is that there were snipers. There were 4 sniper teams available of the local law enforcement and of the Secret Service on rooftops, and yet an unknown shooter was allowed to get the rooftop. That was just 150 meters away from the presidential address's position. Suesha.
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, this is a question widely being asked, and the fact that this is under investigation. Now, let's also understand how the FBI is the lead agency investigating the attempted assassination, but the security labs issue that will be for the Department of Homeland Security and USSS, as well as Congress, to look into. House Speaker Mike Johnson vowed a full investigation of the shooting, featuring testimony from USSS, DHS and the FBI, and the 2 Republicans on the Senate Homeland Security Committee have also called for an investigation. Kritarth, I want to come back to you because just a short while ago, we were also saying how the Republicans have rather pinned the blame on Joe Biden and his party. Now, if they are calling this political,
the entire matter of Mike Johnson calling for a House committee to investigate the Trump assassination bid shows you how politically charged the entire environment in the United States is going to get. And Mike Johnson saying that he is going to investigate in the House Congressional Committee, where heads of the Department of Homeland Security, the US Secret Service and the Federal Bureau of Investigation will be summoned to investigate. Because, Suesha, we need to understand that even though Donald Trump is a former US president, he's also one of the front runners in the presidential race at the moment, and he's most likely going to be confirmed as the official Republican nominee at the Republican National Convention, which is about to kick off from tonight. So the entire matter is going to get politically charged. Of course, Mike Johnson, also a Republican who is right now the Speaker of the US Congress, and he is going to lead the investigation into all three big agencies who are allegedly responsible for this entire assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
And amidst this, Trump is all set to go ahead with the Republican National Convention. Thousands of Republicans will gather in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention, where Donald Trump and his soon-to-be announced running mate are on course to officially be nominated by the party. Kritarth, I want to come back to you for this because Donald Trump, right after he released that statement yesterday, said that this is the time that calls for everybody to stay united and is calling for a stronger union of all the Republicans and Trump supporters. So in that sense, what can we expect will happen in this next convention?
And already a controversy sort of emerging around the Republican National Convention and the security arrangements for it. Now, former President Donald Trump has made it categorically clear that he's going to go there and deliver a huge address. Now, remember, viewers, the RNC was already going to be a huge political affair, as the running mate of former President Donald Trump is yet to be determined, and the vice presidential nominee who will be on the Republican ticket will also be revealed. But now this is going to be one of the biggest addresses by Donald Trump after his assassination bid, and hence why the entire world will be watching. Now, let me tell you what the RNC is very quickly. Thousands of Republicans at end of every 4 years come together to officially vote and nominate a nominee. So President Trump, although he was a leader in the primaries race so far, he will be officially nominated as a Republican candidate for the Republican Party in the 2024 Republican race, the presidential race. And more than 50,000 attendees are expected to attend. The Secret Service has said that they are all ready and set to have the protective measures in place so that the RNC goes flawlessly. Even President Biden has asked the Secret Service head to remonitor and recheck all the security measures in place, because something untoward must not be repeated, especially at the scale at which the RNC will be held. But the latest updates coming in, RNC good to go as it was supposed to be.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Kritarth, many thanks for getting us those details. Of course, we continue to track all the developments very closely. At the moment, we also take a quick check of the headlines we are tracking.